All right, everybody, on the launch of our second DVD, I thought I'd give you a quick tour of the property. I've had some questions and like, how much land do you have, dude? You're always out in the middle of nowhere. This is in Maple Valley, Washington. We have about 10 acres here. This big old field off to the side. Sometimes we have horses over there. Right now there's 4 llamas out there. They're not chewing down the grass as fast as I'd want them to. Let's go out back though, because I keep most of my bee stuff in our 1940s barn that's right back here, and we've got a bevy of dogs back here today too. So we got a real long skinny lot. I keep my bees about, I don't know, 1,000 yards down the road, but we can go back there in a little bit. This is Lulu, the world's dumbest dog, and we just got Biscuit. Biscuit, come here. This is Gertie, the old lady. This is Biscuit. Say hi to everybody, Biscuit. Gertie, come here. This is our old dog. She's about 12 years old. And those little guys are Sean's dogs. So come on into the barn. It's kind of a mess right now, but it'll kind of show you what where I do most of the beekeeping stuff. This is where the dogs sleep, on the couch. And over here, let me open the door so I can get some light in here, is where I keep all my bee stuff. So this pile of junk right here, I just had a bear attack recently. We're putting that into our another DVD that we're working on now. But so this was what was left of a couple frames after the bear attack. So I keep a lot of woodenware in here. This probably looks a lot like many of your garages, but if you come over here, this is where it's like beekeeping explosion. I've got tons of boxes and frames. I actually bought an extractor this year. Got some extra veils and stuff that we were looking at for our online store. We had some guys send us some samples of different veils and suits and whatnot. So we're like trying to make the online store grow. So I wanted to see different examples of what they had. So all this stuff is beekeeping. You know, I got different extractors and, you know, frame spacers and all kinds of stuff in here. Some of it's for my own use and some of it we're actually, you know, testing out for the website store to see if it's stuff that we would want to sell to you. And like over here in my workbench that totally needs to be cleaned was, you know, a couple frames that are a shallow super that I need to put together, and a smoker that we bought from a manufacturer overseas that we're testing out. So it's kind of a junkyard right now, but hopefully when the summer dies down a little bit, I'll be able to clean it out. So this is where it all happens. We're not a commercial outfit. We don't have hundreds of hives, but we sure have appreciated all the growth. And a lot of the new DVD, actually DVD number 2, where I do some woodworking in here to show you how to make a deluxe hive. That all happens in this shop with the chop saw over here and everything else. So, all right, let's go take a look back where the bees are. So, these are blackberry bushes, and a lot of times you'll hear someone mention a honey flow. Like, oh, the honey flow's on. And like the first couple of years I was beekeeping, I'm like, what are they talking about? I had no idea. So that means in our area, it's blackberries. When these blackberries, which are considered an invasive weed in Washington, all the flowers open up at the same time, that means you have a honey flow on. And so for your area, it might be clover, it might be alfalfa, maybe you live by, I don't know, an apple orchard or an orange, you know, a bunch of orange fields or whatever, depends on your area. So these blackberries are coming in, which make great jam and pie and everything else, but what we're interested in as beekeepers are these flowers. And so I'm actually surprised that the bees aren't out here working these flowers right now, because blackberry honey is a pretty sought after honey. So when these blackberries flower, and we'll go back here in a sec, you got to make sure that you've got honey supers on top of your hives, because in a hive, especially in your second year, When these things pop open, whatever the honey flow plant is in your area, it will start to, ooh, look at this berry. They can pack it in quick. That is not a blackberry, it's a salmon berry, but it's really good. So come on back, the beehives are about a couple hundred yards back here. All right, so this is why I had to install a bear fence. That, my friends, is bear poop, and actually it wasn't here this morning, so the bear is roaming around as we speak in the backyard. Normally I would have my bear mace with me, but since we have like 6 dogs, I'm hoping that if we see the bear that these guys will scare him off. But if you live in bear country, you might think about getting one of these electric fences. It's right around the corner up here. I got mine after the bear took out a hive, and so if you have bear sightings in your area, you might want to get yours before you have a hive taken out. So I've only seen the bear one time, and it was coming around this corner right here. The bear was across that field, and so I got to about right here, and it looked like it was about a 400-pound bear, but I think they've tracked that bear, and he's really only about 300 pounds, but it's a big animal. And my dog Gertie took off after it, was completely unafraid, barking her head off, and chased the bear back into the woods over there. I didn't want to stick around to see what would happen, so I got the dogs back and we hightailed it back to the house. It was pretty crazy. All right, so here's the bee yard. Right here I did have 4 hives until the bear got 1, and so now I'm down to 3 hives, and I'll probably get back up to 4 next season. The thing with, if you have a day job like I do, and you really, it's hard to pay attention with more, you know, I could probably go up to 5, maybe 6 or 7 hives. After that, you know, it seems like there's not enough time in the day to really do anything right. So this hive, you can see I've got, I turned the fence off, by the way. This hive has 3 honey supers on the top. And so I've been anxious to see what it looks like in here. I'm not going to do a full inspection. I'm just, Biscuit, get out of that fence. So I actually need to do a full inspection, but these bees are all the way up through here. If I just crack the top to see if they're up on the top, and you can see them right there. You know, obviously if I'm going to do a full inspection, I'm going to suit up and get my smoker and everything, but that's a good way of telling if the bees are going all the way up to the top. So someone, my neighbor had told me they saw a swarm in our neighborhood recently and wanted to know if one of my hives swarmed. So when I do my inspection, I'll see if the populations all seem the same. These 2 hives over here are the new ones for this year, my Jimi Hendrix hives. And you can tell there's a lot of activity going on with these guys. So I'm just going to tip the lid on this one on the right because I had sugar in there, and I wanted to see if, when you're not suited up, if they're going for your face, don't hang around. That means they're feeling a little aggressive. So I'm going to wait and come back on that hive. Those bees were coming at my face. Sometimes in the morning, if they're pretty docile, I can go up and, you know, look inside there without any worries. But those guard bees were headed right for my face, so I'm going to wait and suit up on that one. So we'll come back and check that one out in a minute. So a lot of the second DVD, Beyond the Basics, a lot of it we filmed here in my bee yard, and we did some stuff with these Jimmy hives and those hives that were in that other yard. And then we also went up to David's bee yard. He has probably 20 to 30 hives. He's the vice president of the Washington State Beekeepers Association. And so we did a whole section of the video up at his place. So just want to show you where the beehives are. And when this thing is hot, and it's turned on with the solar charger, you do not want to touch that. And so, you know, it hooks up right here. Here's the hot, here's the ground, and this solar charger thing, it puts over, I want to say, about 8,000 watts going through that line. It'll get your attention quick. So anyways, we got it off because the dogs are back here right now, but you'll see this bee yard a lot in the second DVD. So we get a lot of questions on the website and in the forum about what kind of plants you should plant for bees, and they need a lot of flowers to make honey. So I went out, this is just a test. Biscuit, get out of the way. No, we're not playing. This is a test. I went and got some crimson clover, not the Joan Jett and the Blackheart song, but this is the plant right here. And so, yeah, are you helping me show the clover? And so I planted about, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 square feet of this clover just as a test to see if it would come in. When those flowers open up, the bees will really get on those and like them and get the pollen and that. So clover honey, again, it's a cheap crop. They need millions of flowers to make a pound of honey. So, you know, buying 2 or 3 flowers is not really going to help you out. But for this cover, it looks like they're coming in good. So what I might do next year is try to get someone in here with a tractor to till this area up. And I'd love to plant a bunch of that crimson, and they also have yellow clover. If I get that crimson and yellow in here, that could really get us a lot of good honey.